something better. But without further ado, let's jump into this. So I think I'm going to start a character on the Alliance faction. I was thinking about what class, but I was thinking about a dwarf, probably. Within the classes itself, I mean, they vary. A warrior, hunter, mage, rogue. My favorite is usually the hunter. If I go back here, I mean my other characters here, I have a hunter, a mage, 2 paladins, a warlock, and a monk. Monks are pretty fun, but I get bored of them sometimes, so I usually play the horde, so I think we'll start a character on the Alliance. I was thinking about probably the dwarf race would be the best. So I mean, let's see. I haven't played a hunter forever, so I think I'm gonna rock the hunter. So, not much to customize. I mean, well, it's gotten expensive. I mean, last few expansions, they've definitely upped their game. So we'll see. We'll see what kind of character we can make. I mean, there's a plethora of hairstyles and all sorts of different looking things, so it's kind of just the stereotypical dwarven character from any fantasy things like Lord of the Rings or what else do you the Elder Scrolls. Yeah, I mean, I think I like this one. I like the braids kind of there. I don't like the color. That is outstanding. I think that's nice right there. Yeah, mustache, of course. The grand one. I think that's good. I like these little, what do you call these? Braces, I guess? Or wraps? I don't know. I don't wear jewelry. Eye color. I think a good blue would look well, kind of contrasting. Maybe even green. I think the green looks really nice against the orange, the red hair. We want both eyesight, earrings. I don't know. I don't think earrings. Nose rings. I don't know. I'm not in Borg, so tattoos. That looks interesting. I think that looks good, and if we do color, so it's like we could be like a Wildhammer dwarf from the lore, randomize the name. Yeah, I think that's good. I think we'll start in Coldridge, the original starting zone. A few years back they added this this extra new zone, but I think Coldridge is better, so I mean, let's get into it. I mean, I have the hunter so far, so now this game is one of my all-time favorites. I mean, it's been around since 2004, I think, but they continue to add more and more to it, so I'll probably see if we can get through the intro quests. I don't know
Great
how
change has come to the enduring halls of Ironforge. Obsessed with the workings of the Titans, the dwarves retrieved their creator's mystical tablets from the fabled city of Ulduar. Activating one such tablet, King Magni Bronzebeard fell prey to a terrible curse that fused his statue-like form into the diamond heart of Ironforge itself.
I'll have to
compound this tragedy,
when I get into this,
Magni's estranged daughter Moira
I'll have to figure out how much time I've put in. You can look in the
and for her
chat.
infant Dark Iron son. To avert civil war, the dwarves created the Council of Three Hammers, an uneasy coalition that would share power equally amongst the clans. Now, with political upheaval rising within the kingdom, and the great cataclysm ravaging the surrounding lands, the future of Ironforge falls to brave dwarves like you.
Oh wow. So, I forgot about the, let's I think that's good. I think, let's add some action bars, shall we? Just to kind of add some more, I don't know if I quite need that one. Action bar 4 is, yeah, I'll keep that one. So yeah, so I'm surprised I don't have a pet. Usually I start with a pet. I wonder if it makes me train, because usually hunters have pets, but it's been the Hearthstone.
What's on your mind? Keep your feet to the ground!
They've changed it. A lot of things going on here. So the game is, you can practically do anything you want. The adventure you can is it's quite impressive. I mean, the different continents, I mean, that you can, like all the continents you can visit, just, it's expansive. I mean, because this is one little zone here, like a small little, I guess, region of a zone, and then you have the zone itself of Dunmorrow, and then you have the whole continent, and all these different zones, different levels. You have cities and trainers and stuff, and then not only do you have the different zones, more than 10, you have continents. So, I mean, you have the original 2 right here, and then you have the ones they've added over the years. But not only do they have this, they have multiple planets. So, yeah, there's a lot to do. So I think I'm planning to at least make videos at level 60 probably, but I mean, we'll see where it takes us. A lot of time and money into World of Warcraft, so it's one of my all-time favorite games. Just the writing, just all of it. I mean, it's something special. The writers never seem to fail, and the music. Some of those classic sounding music, I guess, fantasy music, in World of Warcraft. But yeah, I mean, basic entry level quests, just to get started. It's not like New Vegas.
How are you?
Just skip the tutorial. I mean, it's
Be good.
It's kind of assumed that it's kind of assumed that you
How are ya? See you
take
soon.
on these quests, because it helps you learn the basics, and it's not really too bad of a game to learn. I think there's definitely a certain aspect. You just kind of learn as you go. I mean, there's only so much you can kind of tell becoming a player before they're just like, you know what, I'm just gonna take off and screw around. I mean, it's what I do in Fallout games, Elder Scrolls games. I mean, the most recent Bethesda title, Starfield, I mean, taking off on that game was something else. I spent hours before I even came close to doing the main story. I died a bunch of times. I robbed stores in the game. So many different things you can do, but I mean, this game has been around forever. I mean, unfortunately, the player base is declining. Every time they release something new, it'll go up for a bit, but I don't know. I mean, if you just look at statistics, even if they release something super good, it'll still kind of decline after a year of the expansion. The current expansion's coming to its kind of ending, I guess, before they release. I don't say how many expansions they have. Probably 10, roughly. I mean, besides the base game, and each expansion's
See you soon.
Game. I mean, each expansion usually lasts for 2 years before they make a new one. And it's been going on since 05 or 04, so I mean, I think my favorite expansion is probably Cataclysm.
Great to meet you.
Great expansion.
Watch your back.
Always replay the story. In the past few years, they've done a lot to kind of make the past expansions useful again. You can choose what expansion you want to level through to get to max level, where you go on to where you then go on to do the current expansion if you've purchased it. But the game does come at a hefty price. I mean, you have to buy the game, the expansion, I mean, and then you have to pay a subscription, so you gotta really be committed to to really be committed to playing the game, because the subscription is it's a lot. I mean, the amount of money it costs, but it makes sense. Servers aren't cheap to maintain. But I'd like to play a lot of games, certainly. World of Warcraft's just one of them, because it's a childhood favorite, I guess. I've always been obsessed with it. A lot of fun memories playing with folks. It's just hard to find people who play it who aren't, you know, out there already. Very few young folk play the game. Unfortunately, it's such a fun game to play with friends. I mean, you can raid together and play dungeons together and all sorts of fun shenanigans, but yeah, I mean, it's full of different wonders. So, I mean, the intro here is kind of a little boring. I mean, that's what I figured with New Vegas. I mean, I kind of wanted to play this game with the intention of finding something peaceful for any viewers who care. I mean, the game New Vegas was more of kind of meant to be a fast-paced one. A slow pickup, but it'll get faster. One of my favorite games ever. But World of Warcraft, I mean, it'll get hectic at some points, but honestly, it's kind of just a fun game to just kind of relax. I mean, the sound effects, and when we get to the nature, I mean, eventually I'll figure out what kind of a expansion I'll level through. I mean, it could be Cataclysm, it could be Wrath of the Lich King, it could be Burning Crusade, Mists of Pandaria. I mean, the list goes on. I mean, and as the name suggests, I mean, most of the expansions you can guess what they're kind of about. Based on the name, I mean, Cataclysm, which is my favorite. Cataclysm's kind of about a worldwide cataclysmic event caused by a dragon. Very casual fantasy stuff, just breaks the world in half, you know. Nothing minor or nothing major, but yeah, I mean, Wrath of the Lich King is usually regarded as the best expansion, and I think it came out in 2008. It's about undead, a lot of adventures, and then the third continent. But
great to meet you. Watch your back. Be good.
There's
Keep your feet on the ground.
I want to keep the videos relatively normal length, but some of these games will probably draw out some of what I can do with them. I mean, there's definitely a challenge to kind of fit in a lot of interesting stuff in 30 to 40 minutes. I'd like to keep them under an hour. But I totally forgot as well that I just got some new abilities. So leap backwards, good for if I pull too many enemies and I need to run. That's a good one, not quite an attack. I am interested in seeing if I can pet abilities. So, because in the past, hunters came with pets from the get-go, and I'm really surprised that it's not here. I mean, tame beasts, so it looks like I can't play with a pet until I'm level 5. And I need one more level until I get that, so I mean, that's not too bad, but you used to start with a pet. I guess they changed things, but you can change your different specialization, so I haven't unlocked it yet, but there's Beast Mastery and Marksmanship, which is what I probably will go with. Beastmaster, you work with 2 pets to kill and explore. Marksmanship is you and a single pet, and then survival hunters. Also have pets. The difference between them is the survival hunters are melee, whereas marksmanship and beast mastery are ranged, so I have a gun. Marksmanship, you do a bit more of your own damage. Your pet helps, but some DPS, but as a beastmaster, you're really not doing a whole lot of damage to your enemy. The main attacker or damage output is actually your pets, and it's interesting because the different specialization you undertake, the different specializations that you take on, you know, require different playstyles. I mean, especially certain classes, because for me, I'm a hunter, so I can only be DPS, which stands for damage per second, for those who don't know. They're the people who stand behind the other people and damage from the side. Other classes like warriors, paladins, druids, I think. There's death knights, other ones. Paladins can be, that's interesting, because paladins can be healers, which the name speaks for itself. I mean, they heal everybody in the current party. But that's their main focus, is healing allies. Tanks are focused on holding the enemy's attention and keeping them away from the other people. it's a good work. I mean, later on when I start to do dungeons, I mean, I'm sure most of my viewers, y'all will see kind of how teamwork comes into play, especially if it gets to be a difficult dungeon or instance. Raids are significantly more difficult compared to dungeons. Dungeons are usually maybe 30-40 minutes worth of time, and it takes 5 people, whereas raids are usually 30, maybe 20 something. I get the numbers because there's 2 kinds of raids and it's changed throughout the years, but raids take hours, especially if you mess up on a boss. If you all die, you know, it's a lot of coordination, especially if you're a healer. I mean, the demand people have put on healers to heal everybody consistently. It's a respectable class to play specialization. Hunters can only play as DPS. There's no healing hunters. There's no tanks, even the melee ones. But I figured I'll just be a DPS and kind of figure it out because it's easier to kind of record and talk to y'all when I'm not trying to focus on healing 20 different people. But I mean, the game is wonderful. I mean, it kind of looks a little aged. I think my graphics might be turned down just a little bit. Let's see if we can turn them up to a best quality. It's also depending on where in the world I am. The newer zones look better. I mean, this zone is 20 years old now. I mean, 2004, 2024, it's almost 20 years old. This zone has been, so it's definitely aged. The walls, the textures on the walls, the resolution is a little aged, but as we get to newer and newer zones, we'll certainly see the impressive difference.
Watch your back.
But, I mean, this is kind of just to serve as an intro to World of Warcraft. I mean, I want to start a bunch of different games.
Off with ya. Watch your back.
Wow, there was a lot of abilities that I'm gonna have to sort through. So I don't really play marksmanship hunters, so most of these abilities are foreign to me, except, you know, the pet abilities are relatively the same. I think I can make...
I need to target something first.
I think I can make, like, a group of, pet abilities. I think. At least I thought I could.
I need a target. I don't have a target.
No? Okay, that's interesting. Call pet. Oh, pet utility right here. Okay. I was like wondering there, like, that makes no sense. Call pet. I'll probably put that right there in pet abilities. Aspect of the cheetah is really good. I think I don't know when I unlock exhilaration, that's where I can heal myself if I get kind of surrounded by enemies. I mean, now we have the pet bar, so we can tame an animal. I'm thinking between a boar or a wolf. Some animals can be tamed, others can't. So this rabbit, for example, can't be tamed, unfortunately. but wolves can... I might take a wolf. I mean, there's 3 kinds of pets as well. There's tenacity, which is usually tank, bigger pets that take more damage. There's ferocity, which is more of a DPS. There we go, we got a pet now. That's good, and he will stay with us forever unless I abandon him. But I can rename him here if I want to, so I'll call him, oh, what's a good name for a wolf? I mean, I know, Pinky. His name is Pinky. Very good. That's a very nice name. But there's tenacity, ferocity, and there's one that's a stealth enemy. So I'm trying to think what the name is. I forget. The name is lost on me.
Well met.
I don't.
See you soon.
I think I can leave Cold Ridge Valley. I think the adventure guide is not available. I don't know when that becomes available. So I guess we'll just.
You're a tall one.
I guess we'll just continue
Alrighty
going.
then.
Because once we get the
You have a great day now.
unlocked, we can pretty much choose any zone or expansion we want to level through. My guess is it comes available at level 10, so we're about halfway there. My guess is we
What's
might
on your
reach 10
mind?
today and kind of get out of the tutorial, but yeah, we'll see.
Off with you.
We'll see what happens. I mean, it's not bad. Not terrible. But they've definitely updated the enemies here in this valley. But I do not remember any of these guys. But I don't know. Oh yes, I forgot. I need to activate Growl. Wait, Growl. Where is Growl? Oh wait. Wait a second. Pet bar. Wait, what? Usually there's something here that allows me to, because there's an ability that the pets are able to do, which they pretty much call all the aggro of, basically they become the tank and the enemies focus on them so I don't get cut up and killed, but it looks like they're just focusing on them, so I wonder if they took away, they couldn't have, but who knows. Blizzard works in the interesting ways of life sometimes. Very, very good company, but very interesting choices made by some of the design. But yeah, I mean, I don't really. Oh, okay. I didn't really know what I was doing there. But yeah, I mean, once we get to other zones and kind of get higher in the world, it will definitely become more fast-paced and fun. Kind of the main gimmick of all this is usually just a big bad enemy comes out of nowhere and threatens the world's peace, and the warring factions of the Horde and Alliance have to band together to stop the big baddie. So they have to come together and stop their own wars to... But then the Horde and Alliance usually end up fighting each other all over again, so... It all just ends up back where it was. I mean, the game started as Warcraft, which was a top-down game in the 90s, where the gimmick of it was just humans versus orcs. I think that's what the game was called, Warcraft Humans and Orcs, I think it was called. But yeah, I mean, certainly the interesting thing with Warcraft is how far it's come. I mean, it's Warcraft as a license and kind of like a world is more than 30 years old. I mean, lots of lore has been developed, lots of story. It's a very good game. I mean, I'm sure most of us will find out more lore as time goes on. I mean, heck, I don't even know every scrap of lore in this place, but there's only so much you can really do and find, until you kind of have to find a new zone. And that's the cool thing, is that, you know, at any time I could just pick up and go to another zone if I wanted to. If it gets boring, if I beat the zone, if I finished, because there is a certain amount of story per zone until you have to kind of move on and figure out things.
Pleased to meet you.
But there's
Off and away.
interesting
Be
things
seeing you.
that we'll come across again.
Have a great day now.
But it looks like, yeah, I mean,
How are you?
finally a new gun.
Safe travel.
I haven't really been equipping much of my new gear. That's something you also gotta, like, pay attention to as well. As here, he is a vendor.
Need assistance?
Very nice. So I can sell those. I'll keep the food. I mean, eventually I'll let go of it, but I don't really need mana. Mana doesn't help me because I'm not a mage or a magic user.
Alrighty then.
But the 60 card.
What can I do for you?
Oh boy.
Safe travel.
Feign Death. Feign Death is pretty much the ability of cowardice. If I attack an enemy and
What's on
it's
your
pretty
mind?
much playing dead.
Be
In
good.
order to lose the aggro pulled on by a bigger boss, a bigger enemy. So there's a lot of... Oh, are they all in this cave? Okay, well, let's see if we can kill them all. Because it wants me to kill 4. I'm surprised these trolls aren't red, because yellow means won't attack. They won't attack unless I attack them, but if they're red, if their name bars are red, that means they'll attack me on sight. I'll have to... I didn't realize I had to defeat 6 enemies, so that's why they're kind of glowing a little bit. The game has definitely become far more easier. They've made an interesting thing, actually. For veteran players who played in the beginning, you can actually play a version of the game that is the exact same as when it came out. I mean, because this is retail WoW, World of Warcraft, so all the new updates and mechanics have been refined, but you can actually go back in the menu and you can go back in the menu and change to the classic World of Warcraft, and that I have tried before. It is very, very hard, very difficult. Enemies hit harder, you have less health, abilities do less damage. Right now I would probably be dead if I tried to clear this zone out, this cave out, this quickly. I would probably be dead by now. This thing would probably so. But yeah, it's a fun challenge if you don't want to kind of blast through everything super quickly. But it kind of takes a different desire to play a game like that, because it's much more of a grind. The story takes a lot longer to complete. You know, the different things about the game just that make you wanna just scream. So it's a grind. It takes a long time. The story to complete it. You also level up significantly slower. So if I was playing Classic, I would probably have I would probably be only level 2, and I'm level 6 right now. So yeah, we'll see.
See you soon.
We'll see kind of what happens next. I mean, they're taking me. Oh, they're taking me to the entrance, so I'll probably go over to the entrance, and that'll probably be about it that I have. And then from there we'll continue. Ooh, there we go. There's a player. Let's see if he waves back. He is a warlock. Looks like he just started too. Well, it's always nice to be friendly to other players, and it tells them so they can see it if they don't. But so a trip to Ironforge. So it looks like the game is preparing me to go to the big city of the Dwarves, what it's called. It's up here. There's a little light point up here at this big mountain. Ooh, I can actually click on the city itself. So this is what the city looks like. The forge in the center, and there's different wards. We'll probably go there next playthrough video for World of Warcraft. But yeah, I mean, it's certainly. I'm certainly excited to keep this going. I mean, definitely in the future, in the near future.
Good day to you.
The different.
Awesome.
What that was. Oh. Well, that's just convenient. Well, it looks like the path got blockaded, so I guess we'll have a new mission to undertake when it's time. So, well, yeah, I hope this proved interesting and exciting. I'm definitely excited to see where this kind of takes us as we watch the sunset over the mountains. Listen to the nice music, but yeah, thank you all for watching, and I hope you stay tuned. Remember, I'm a channel trying to grow as much as I can, so if it doesn't harm you too much, remember to subscribe for any future content. It's greatly appreciated. And more videos like this will come out soon, especially as I see things start to grow, which they have. But plenty of more content to come. New Vegas will probably be the next video. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.